The things I do for you guys. This is risky business over here. All right, we're going in. Do not fall. I will not fall. Alrighty. It is not a video without a stogie. And these water polo skills really paid off. A little longer start to the video, but this one's going to be interesting. So I spent years posting on social media, having a lot of life lessons and a lot of fear related to what people would think of me. It's really funny because if you've followed me or my channel or known me for a long time, you would have seen the journey. But right now I'm on a tear. I'm going full rhino skin. And ultimately, what I want to teach in this video is if you want to live a really cool life and impact people, you have to go full rhino skin. This cigar is not good. Let's see. Cool. We're ripping now. So, what is full rhino skin? Well, the other day I was with my dad and we were play fighting, and this guy's got big hands. I put my hand out and he whacked that thing like a cat, and he almost ripped my finger off. I'm like, God, your hands are massive and pumped full of blood and calluses. He's like, yeah. And then the other day, he's just walking around. He starts talking. He's like, yeah, I got that rhino skin. I'm like, holy shit. So I bought this book, this Native American book about spirit animals. I've been into spirit animals for years. And I'm going to start reading about the rhino. Man, these animals, they're solitary. And it takes a lot to get them down. And people want their horns. And it's not an aphrodisiac, even though people say it is. But they want it for the symbol that rhino holds. That rhino will not go down without a fight. And when it comes to social media business impacting other people, especially in the spiritual space, if you don't have rhino skin, you just go back to being some other animal. Some softer, more docile animal, because this is not for the weak. This is not for the weak. If you are trying to post content to grow your business, if you're trying to reach people, if you're trying to be a leader to your communities, you have to have rhino skin. You have to. Otherwise, you're absolutely cooked. They will take your horn and all of your skin and they will tear you up. Doesn't matter what animal you are done if you don't have rhino skin. Unless you're a honey badger. If you have honey badger skin, you're good. Lions will try and attack you and you'll be fine. But it's that ferocity and it's that ability for everyone on the top of the cliff looking down at you while you're in the little valley, shooting arrows at you, and it goes into your skin and you don't even care. You just keep going because your skin's tough. And it's taken me 6+ years to develop rhino skin. And I'm only just letting that skin really toughen. I'm putting some leather on it. I'm rubbing some metal on it in the form of weightlifting. I'm putting myself out there every day so people keep shooting bullets at me. I'm like, give me more. Give me more. The other day I asked God, I said, God, give me the capacity to carry more weight. So what did he do? 2 days later, he throws me into the absolute arena with hyenas and people who clearly have very deep traumatic issues. And I had to sit in the pocket and go full rhino mode and just sit there and not care, be non-reactive. And then when the horn has to come out, it will. But you're going to hear my paws, my stumps coming down, and you better get out of the way or you're going to get slayed. That is rhino energy. I'm sick of this reality where people are trying to tell me how to live my life. Well, I have an opinion about your videos. Cool. I'm not here for your opinion. Well, that's not nice, Logan. And what if you're going down the wrong path? I care about you. Great. I care about you too. Do you want to hear my opinion? No, not really. Okay, well then stop commenting yours. I've removed everyone on my social media recently. It's been the best decision I've ever made. You know why? Because I got more people shooting arrows at me now, telling me what I'm doing wrong. And it doesn't matter because I'm not watching any of their content. I'm not watching any of these people's content. I don't watch people's content anymore. There's one guy I watch his content. That's it. No content. It's only production for me. So when people comment and tell me, I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm this, I'm that, it's a bad take, it's not nuanced, it's aggressive, I'm arrogant, it doesn't matter what the verbiage is. Cool, let me see the video you shot on the same topic. And let me openly comment and slide into your DMs and tell you exactly how I feel. No, this video isn't shot to anyone. If you sent me a message recently, that doesn't mean it's to you. So don't worry about that. It's the collective energy of people on social media. It's like I post a video about my opinion, and then people have their opinion, and that's the exchange. It's completely fine. There's no problem with that. All I'm sending energy to and shining light on is the fact that if you're constantly commenting and watching other people's stuff, you're not being you. No, if you're every day posting a video about all these things, and then you go and you comment on other people's stuff, it's like you've produced just as much as you've consumed, and you probably have different opinions after you've shot all that content. But a lot of people with content are not content with their own lives, so they go into the comment board and they make comments about things that most of them don't have life experience on. It's like you put two animals into the Colosseum. You put a rhinoceros and you put a golden retriever. or a German Shepherd or whatever dog. It's like that dog is going to get out of the way. That dog's gone. You put an elephant with a rhino, elephant skin is tough too. And you put a herd of elephants, or whatever you call it, that rhino might be running. But there's a lot of puppy dogs that go around barking like they're rhinos. No. And I'm not even at full rhino energy. I'm at 10% right now. I'm at 10% and I'm showing up like this. And I've been told by many of my guides and mentors, when I show up in my power, I'm gonna be told by people that are close to me, people I've met along my path, people who have been acquaintances, frenemies, whatever it is. People are going to start telling me that I'm arrogant. And the problem for me my whole life was that I had overextended my humility to the point where I didn't speak what I thought. I didn't speak about my businesses. I didn't speak about how I could support people. And then the people who didn't actually care were the ones that were helping the people who, if I would have just spoken up and shared myself and my essence, those people would have never gotten caught into the traps of people that didn't actually care about them. So I'm posting some pretty spicy stuff, and it's ruffling some feathers. My question for those people is, why is it ruffling feathers? And ultimately, I think because I've been here before. I've been on the comment board. I've been on the in the section where I watch a video and I get angry about it. It's like, why is that triggering you? Why do you now want to make a bunch of conversations with other people about that video? Well, it's stirring something in you. It's good. It's good. And I will challenge many of you to look at that and go, okay, well, how can I stir the pot for all the people I know? Because when you stir the pot, you move things. If I stir up emotions by speaking my truth and appearing arrogant to people, what happens? What happens? There's two paths. One, I continued doing what I was doing, where I was posting half-assed content, where I wasn't fully expressing myself and speaking myself. I was being a golden retriever. And I'd get people who would be attracted to me kind of wearing a mask of being this soft puppy that they liked being around. But that wasn't actually me. I was a rhino. And the rhino might meet other animals at the watering hole, but they're not going to come super close to him unless it's another rhino or it's part of the squad. And if you're a fellow rhino, cool, I fuck with you. Like, we can hang out, we can be friends. We can share opinions, and I openly reach out to people to get feedback on things. And I do accept people if they want to send me messages and tell me how they feel. That's great. We can have a conversation. But again, if you're not a rhino, just know that you're likely giving unsolicited advice. Because until you're in that coliseum, until you get bloodied up, until you develop calluses, until you get some dirt under your fingernails, the dirt from your keyboard under your fingernails is not real dirt, by the way. Until that happens, just know that you're not going to be fully living up to your potential. A very, very, very hard thing to do in this reality is to show all of the people that you've ever known who you really are. Because every childhood wound will come up. And I've seen it with so many people I care about and myself. We have these fears. Like, if you look at living with someone, past exes I've lived with and other women I've lived with, I've been even other men. I've had to do a lot of work on myself to start becoming a more clean person in terms of like not just leaving stuff around the house, ADHD style. I would usually get a bunch of stuff done and then forget that I have some tacos on the stove or something, and then go and I'm in a 4-hour work session or something, and I leave it on the stove while someone's living with me. It's not very nice, right? So I've had to learn a lot about that. And what I learned is a lot of people who are clean freaks have childhood wounds related to their mom would almost beat them if they didn't clean the house. So then for them, they have to have a clean house. Otherwise, they're going to feel absolutely horrible and not safe. And then for me, on the other end of the spectrum, I had a mom who was OCD clean. So she would, anytime I walk into the house and I set my keys on the counter, she'd throw it in a drawer and I'd have to go find it. So then for me, it actually became like she's trying to control me and I don't like that. So I'm going to leave the keys on the counter. Petty, I know. So then when I'd live with other people in the future, what would happen? I would almost be, my inner child would be fighting to not do what they wanted. And a lot of times we all have expectations on each other without knowing it, based off of how we live and thinking that it's common sense when it's not. And so I've had some great mentors that I've lived with who have like taught me, oh yeah, you like clean the house more. Like, this is how you actually clean it. Because I wasn't taught certain things. And then from there, I become a better person. And so the childhood wounds come up, especially with social media, with people, especially people who are going to put themselves out there. And I experienced this for a long time. I would post a video and then I would get someone that I really looked up to and they would respond to it. And they would send me a message and they'd be like, dude, I don't think you should be posting this. And then I'd go and I'd delete it. And I just did this the other day with someone I know. And I go back and I reflect and I'm like, why did I delete that? That was me in a moment of time being who I was. There's so much stuff now of someone looks at your profile and they're like, oh yeah, that's off brand. You should definitely delete that. Like if you're going to get a job for some company and you have a bunch of pictures with you with red Solo cups and Edward 40 hands, you should absolutely delete those. But I'm saying like, you go and look at your post and you go, no, that's who I was. And I actually like looking at that because it reminds me of where I was at. But then someone you look up to comes in and says, you shouldn't do life that way. You should delete that. And then you delete it. What did you just do? You just gave your power away. And people are afraid of power, especially the people who are really tried and true and have big open hearts. They're so afraid of power. Well, here's the thing. How do we change the world from the powerful people who are trying to destroy our families and nature and earth for the sake of greed and profiteering? If they're powerful, isn't it our duty to become as powerful or more powerful than them so that benevolence can come in and use the power in a different way? Because true power is not having to flaunt it to people. It's just showing up as you are. And that's why I'm making this video. It's like, please, if you're going to go in and start throwing little glass bottles at a glass house or rocks at a glass house with your comment of, oh, I want you to know that your glass house is going to break soon. It's like, well, you're the one throwing the rock, and it actually isn't going to affect me because that glass house is bulletproof. It's coated in rhino skin, just so you know. So keep sending your comments. It's fine. They're welcome, but I'm just letting you guys know, make better use of your time if you want to be a leader. The hard thing is to completely stop watching people's stuff. Completely stop. What happens when you completely stop watching people's stuff? You can only connect to God at that point. This is why so many rites of passage for men revolve around, you got to go into the forest or you got to go into the cave by yourself with nothing but a spear or nothing at all. And if you make it back to us, you're in the tribe. The cream rises to the top at that point. It's an initiation. And so the initiation, I'm opening to people who want to be leaders. And I'm speaking because I'm stepping into my leadership more and more. I have people reaching out to me that want to be led by me, and not led in a way in which I'm like, I'm your leader. Led in a way where we can lead each other to victory. The real leadership is just creating a space where everyone can become their own leader together. And so social media can be a trap because the second you turn into a consumer of other people's content, that's the second that you're signaling to God that you're not really listening to him, you're listening to other people. And if other people are connected to God, like I'm not saying oh yeah, just sign off of this video. I still watch videos of other people's stuff. It's just very minimal now. So if this video is helping you and it's resonating to something in your soul, stay on and keep watching. But afterwards, go implement what I told you or what somebody else told you. Go implement it immediately, because you can spend years watching content and not do anything. I've done it. I did it for 6+ years. No, I did it for at least 10. At least 10. And now I'm not consuming. I'm producing way more than I consume. And what's ended up happening is way more people are reaching out to me. And most of the people reaching out to me, it's connection. I had someone tell me hey, dude, you should remove as many followers on your Instagram as possible. Get it down to 10%. I'll go, okay. I don't really agree with that, but I'll do it. So what did I do? And I had actually been thinking about this for a long time. So this person just facilitated it for me. I removed every follower or every person I was following on Instagram. And then I get a message and they go, oh, well, that's kind of overkill. I'm like, dude, can I not do either? I have to do it your way. And it was fine because he's not the kind of person that's cramming any agenda down my throat. He was giving me his advice, but still, it's like I should do it my way. Just because someone told me something doesn't mean because they have more authority or more followers than me that I should necessarily listen. Because if I'm connected to God in my path, then God will lead me in the right direction. All I got to do is hold on to the reins and ride. That's it. The more you do this, the more you're going to get shot at. People are going to be sending arrows from every direction. It's gonna crowd the sun that you can see, and it's gonna get dark. The sun will be covered and blinded by arrows. And what you do in that situation, you do not hide, you do not retreat, you don't go back into old patterns. Because the arrows were actually an illusion. When they shot them off, you thought they were all going to come down and kill you. Well, they're actually going to come down. They're going to hit the exact parts of where your weaknesses are. So if you're entering your Rhino era, you're going to sit there. You're going to go, I'm tough as fuck. Those arrows are going to come down. They're going to hit you in the back hind corner, no issue, bounces off. Hit you right in the spine, no issues, bounces off. Hit you right near the eye, sticks. Oh my God, that hurts. Why does that hurt so much? Well, boom, that arrow just gave you a window into what you got to work on. So I've let really strong people tell me things. I've opened myself up to be able to get advice from a lot of people. I paid for a lot of coaching, and I've let them shoot their arrows. Boom. And I've taken a lot. I've taken a lot of arrows. And what the healer does, if we want to become leaders, we have to know how to heal ourselves so that we can be strong enough to hold the capacity. And we also have to know who the right healers are for us to go to be able to open ourselves up and be vulnerable. But that's not to everyone. We can't open it up to everyone. When we do that, when we accept the arrows that people are shooting at us, we let really strong people that we look up to, who we pedestalize, who we think are better than us, shoot arrows at us and hit us. And when some of these people are skilled tacticians, they know exactly. They can see everything. They can shoot at you and hit every single blind spot you can't see. And when you let that go in and penetrate, and you just open up full Rhino mode, boom, boom, boom. You just take it. And then next time you're on the battlefield, people are going to see you got shot there. They're going to go, I can't hit that spot. There's already an arrow in it. But if you rip that thing out, and you freak out, you slobber all over it, you run around like a chicken with its head cut off, trying to get everyone to patch it up, and you don't look at it yourself, first thing you got to do when you get hit with a bullet, you got to look down. You got to go, oh, that's the damage. Okay. What do I got to do? Boom, I got to put a towel on it. Tourniquet. Let me get a tourniquet real quick. Boom, boom. Okay, I got to go to the hospital. And then you get there and you get patched up. And then the real work comes. Then you got to sit in the hospital, and preferably without pain meds. You got to sit in the pain of that wound. You got to go, why did that happen? Why did it happen at this time? How did I track that? What parts of me were unhealed that allowed a blind spot of that size to be there? And this is really healing the inner child. Everyone's talking about inner child work and shadow work and all this stuff. Well, you want to do shadow work? Let people shoot arrows at you. Bop, 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 bop. Send all the bullets. Neo at the end of the Matrix, when he saw the truth, all the bullets are coming at him. He just holds up his hand. They drop. The other agents are like, I'm out. No cap. I cannot take this guy on. Because this dude's a rhino. This dude's a rhino. He's been forged in the solitude of the wilderness. He's been shot at by hunters. He's been taken by rope and put in cages. And they went to give him poisons and food to manipulate him, and they tried to cast him with spells and take his horn. And the rhino just patiently waited. And he broke out of all of it. And now when he walks on the Sahara, the other animals can see it. And if we're painting this picture in society, when you walk into a room when you're a rhino, people know. People know. I came back to my hometown after years of being in the jungle, on the Sahara, in mountains, in the depths of hell, in the fiery gates. And now when I walk into a room, people know I'm a rhino. The biggest issue I've had is I never accepted I was a rhino. When I got back with my dad and I healed my relationship, when I chose to no longer try and be another animal, I just accepted my dad's a rhino and I'm a rhino too. Oh my God, this is all coming around full circle. When I was in second grade, there was a play called Anansi. And it was about Anansi the spider. It's an African play. It's a beautiful play. You can look it up. It's great. A great story. Anansi, you're gonna get it. The lions want their mangoes back. Anansi was stealing everything from all the animals. He was the trickster. He's a little bastard spider. He was very charming, and he could sing. He could captivate audiences. And Anansi would steal everything from all the other animals. And all the animals are standing behind him singing, and they're fucking pissed. But they're all still singing. They're these happy little kid rhinos, happy little lion kids. Every animal in the Sahara, and the animals have to come together and sing the song to cast the spider out. I don't even remember how the play ends. All I know is Anansi was second guessing himself by the end. And guess what I was during that play? I was a freaking rhino. Never put it together. So I tried being all the other animals, and it took me finally accepting my dad fully for who he is. That is the man he is, with his flaws, with all the things that I didn't think he did right in my childhood because I had expectations, and he had his own life. And I had, as a kid, we can develop a lot of pain and anguish when we have a soul that wants a certain thing and we don't get it from the other soul. But what I never realized was my dad was a 20-year-old man who was living his own life. And as I've gone and lived my own life, I've realized, oh, my dad's a good guy. He's great. And as I've done that, and I've been like, I don't need to fight my dad anymore. Well, my dad and I don't fight. And it's because my dad knows now that I'm not trying to be another animal. I'm not trying to be a lion. I'm not trying to be a honey badger. I'm not trying to be a snake. For the longest time, he's just like, hey, you're a rhino. And he'd say it in so many words, and I'd be all mad. I'm like, no, I'm a snake. No, I'm an orangutan. And then I just come back home, and I'm like, I'm watching him, and I'm like, oh, he's a rhino. He's got rhino skin. What does that make me? Full acceptance of our parents. full acceptance to the point where we no longer hold any resentment towards them, and we just accept them as they are. When we do that, we accept ourselves as we are. And when we accept ourselves as we are, we show up as we are. When we show up as we are, people who are other animals might get mad at that. I know many guys that they want to be the lion. They want to be the king of the jungle. It's like, dude, just accept that you're a sloth. You're from Australia. You're a sloth. It's fine. And then the guys that accept they're a sloth, they're like super fucking cool. Like, I'm a sloth. That's what I do. I just hang around. I'm a koala bear. That's what I do. I eat eucalyptus all day. And then all the other animals are like, that's a dope animal. That's a dope animal. I love that. I love that koala. That koala is sick. I'll go over to the watering hole and I'll drink water next to that koala. I'll sit under his tree. He gives me good advice sometimes. He's sitting up there doing his thing. I'm down here fighting with other animals for scraps. But I fuck with that guy because he's not trying to be a jaguar. He's not trying to be a lemur. He's just himself. He's owned it. So you want to be yourself, you got to start posting more about who you are. Start talking about your actual opinions. My dad, Mr. Rhino, great leader. Did he do things wrong in his leadership? Absolutely. All leaders do. Good leader understands, takes feedback, and then moves on from his mistakes. But he was a great leader because he would choose the decision that was right for the group. And when you're doing that and you're leading and nobody else is leading, which is usually what happens, if you watch groupthink stuff where someone's getting attacked, there's an audience of 100 people and no one's doing anything, it's because everyone's afraid what the other person is going to think if they jump in. So they just let it happen. Well, my dad never did that. My dad would always speak up, even to the point where he might get into trouble with the people who were hiring him. But he's like, I'm not going to compromise on when I see someone doing a bad job because I was paid not to make friends. I was paid to make money. So let's make money together, all of us. But let's not pretend just because we're buddies that I'm not going to still be a hard ass and get this job done correctly. I get the job done correctly. That's what I care about most. And if we want to go have a beer after, we can. But I'm not here to make friends to have a beer. I'm here to get the job done. And my dad told me a story about there's this guy on his site, and every day everyone's talking, shooting the shit. They're working, of course, because people would not be sitting around with, like, twiddling their thumbs with my dad. My dad walk into a room, people would be doing their shit. There's this one guy though, he would always be like kind of half-assing it and stuff. And my dad goes, you know what your problem is, Jake? I don't even know what the guy's name was. We'll call him Jake. All the other guys are drilling and hammering and stuff, and they look over. He goes, Jake, you won't pick a fucking side. Pick a fucking side. All I hear from you is nothing because you never pick a side. You have an opinion, but you won't tell anyone. So tell me what your opinion is. Jake is like, can't say anything. It's like, okay, well, either get the job done or get the fuck out of here. That's it. Because I'm not going to sit here and waste my time and your time twiddling thumbs and waiting to get ready. It's like, Jake, are you going to lead this thing? No? Okay, well, get the fuck out of the way. Get off the fence. When you sit in the middle of the fence and the fence is covered in barbed wire, you're going to get stuck. The buffalo is the animal that runs right through the storm when it happens, when there's a hurricane coming through. They go straight into the eye of the hurricane, all of them together. They run through that storm, get through the storm. They're the first animal out the other side, and they're already grazing on the grass. They got the whole place to themselves for like a week, while all the other animals are trying to scheme their way out of this storm. The smart animals will follow the buffalo. The animals that are in their head, the birds will keep flying. The other animals will keep running. They're trying to outrun the storm. You can't outrun the storm. The storm's coming for you. Go into the storm. Go into it. See what kind of arrows you're going to encounter. Allow yourself to get hit by those arrows if necessary. And then when you're on the other side of the storm, you can patch yourself up and go graze some grass. And then during the next storm that comes, you're not going to have a blind spot. You're going to run right into it. But so much of my life was spent running from storms, the storm of other people's opinion. Don't be a Jake. Don't be a Jake. It's important to have nuance. It's important to see both sides and bring the collective back to what's really important, which at the end of the day is love. Love, connection, camaraderie, all the good things. But don't be a fence sitter. I've made decisions in my life where I didn't go and pick the side. I was indecisive. And because that happened, I was half-assed and I got stuck on the barbed wire. And so right now it's like, just go shoot that video, go tell people what you want to say, go into the fear, feel it in your body, let people shoot arrows at you, take the arrows, go into your cave, heal yourself, put some fire on it, burn that pain out of you, and then go back into the world and do it again. Arrow, 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 cave, 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 out, out, out. You keep doing that and then you're just out in the world all the time. That's where I'm at right now. I'm out in the world all the time, just going, walking indoors. I'm a rhino. I'm a rhino. I'm a rhino. What are you? What are you? I don't believe you. I think you're a koala. You know what? That hurt. Let me go into my cave. Comes back out. You know what? I'm a koala. All right, we can kick it. Let's hang out. You know what you are. Hey, I've been doing a lot of thinking and I've been in the cave for a while. I got a lot of arrows shot at me. Thought I was a koala, but this is what I really am. Okay. Yeah, that feels right. And if you think you're a honey badger and you're living your life that way, awesome. You're congruent. Just be congruent. Show yourself fully where you're at now. You're going to show up as an animal that you're not actually. And that's the most vulnerable thing, to be embarrassed afterwards, to realize, oh, I was a rhino the whole time. If I only just accepted that, I would have been in the Sahara way sooner. I would have been at the watering hole with the boys way sooner. It's that. July 4th coming up. See those flags? God bless. America is the stomping ground for the masculine. It is the land of the free. It is the place where the 20-year-olds fought against the oppressors for a 3% tax. They went for it. Said, we're not going to be a part of your snake brigade anymore. We're a different animal. And if we have to fight, we will. But Anansi the spider, you're going to see that we're going to get our fruit back. In the name of God, we're getting our fruit back, we're getting our lands back, and we're going to protect them. And we're not letting any more spiders into our house. If a spider from your bloodline comes into our house, we will show it grace and compassion and we will usher it out. But if it keeps coming back, we will stomp on it. We must protect America. We must bring it back. We must remove the spiders and the distortions and restore the masculine essence of this country so that other countries and other places and other lands can accept the animals they are and they can show up in the world that way. And when all the animals are united together, the spiders cannot rule the world. So if you want to cast the spiders out, consider applying to Ubuntu Fellowship. It's a men's community. It's what I wish I had when I was in every cave with every spider, and I had no idea how to get out of that cave. Severely lost, trapped in many webs. Allowing spiders to suck me into purgatory. Watch Avatar, the episode where Aang has to go into the cave to save his girl, and there's a spider with a million masks, and the spider will show the darkness to Aang, and if Aang has any emotional reaction to it, he will become trapped in the spider's web for the rest of his life, and he'll be stuck in a loop. He'll be stuck in the web forever until the next incarnation. And the spider will use his face to trap other people. So let's get our people free. Let's get people out. Ubuntu Fellowship is not for everyone. It's for the leaders. It's for the rhinos, the lions, the jaguars, the hippos. Whatever land you come from, if you want to lead your people back to victory, starting with yourself, apply. I'll see you in there later.